everybody, welcome to yet another video. So a video of a bit of a difference, this one, because it's also a competition video. It is actually a full review of the Porphis PRD815 in 1.2, the newer version of the 815 in 1.3. We'll run through the differences, not loads, but they are quite significant because one of them is the colour. But we're on to the competition. I'll run through the rules, etc. when we get a little bit further into the video. And you can see how you can win one of these. I've been using this, I've had this about a week. Porphis were very kind enough to send me this gun to try to see what I thought of it. And they also suggested that we might want to put one up as a competition prize, which I thought was an excellent idea. So, as I say, we will be doing a competition as well. So, looking at the physical differences between these, you can see immediately the colour. The 1.2 is a silver body, so it's an anodized aluminium silver, whereas the original 815 in 1.3 is blue. It's kept the blue controls and the blue bezel, and I think the contrast looks actually excellent. The quality of these guns is really exceptional. But I will say one thing actually, if you're putting regulators on here, don't use this stop. It has a rotation stop. It runs through about 300 degrees and it will stop. So it's ideal because you get some movement, but it doesn't actually move all the way around, and sometimes it goes round and round, which can be annoying to people. I actually get on with it all right, but I know some people it actually it annoys them effectively. So it has a stop. Don't be tempted to use that stop as another spanner. So don't put a spanner on your regulator and give it loads and loads of force. Just do it up by hand. That's all you need. That's tapered, and there's a taper on any regulator, or any normal regulator anyway, will have a taper. The two tapers sit together, so you just literally have to pinch it up by hand. Don't use a load of force because you will break it. It's just, there's just a piece of metal in there which stops it going round, and you will have it off if you put too much pressure, so don't do that. Anyway, so that's the differences between the guns. Full review coming up in a minute. Any noises I make in that are purely the fact that the first time I used this gun was when I did the video. I thought, well, I'll get some footage of it and see how it goes. Using it for clear coat. I've since used it for base coat and for clear coat. I've had it about a week, and it's proved exceptional. I think this is an excellent base coat gun. It's a very, very good clear coat gun as well. But this actually, in my opinion, what you need is you need to pair, because that is an excellent base coat gun. This, as a slow applicator of clear coat, really, really finely, is excellent. But you'll see that, and any noises you hear are me first using this, as I was really surprised. Good quality clear coat though. You need to use a good quality clear coat to get the best out of it. So, competition. Any competition has rules. We're in the UK, we love rules. Competition rules are runs for 1 month. So from the date you see on the video on YouTube, it's around the start of September, but I haven't made an exact date that I will release it, but it's going to be in September, but you'll be able to see the release date anyway on YouTube. It'll run for 1 month, so you'll be able to enter the competition for 1 month. And how you enter the competition is you put a comment. Now, Porphis and me, between the two of us, are going to choose a winning entry. So you need to make that comment enough to catch our eye, enough to win, basically. That's what you're after. So put whatever you think may win. Now, if you want to ask questions about the gun, you can do, and just put another comment as your comment to win, so to speak. Because what you will find is that if you put 20 comments, we will still only pick one from one person. So you know there's only going to be one gun, one here. So yeah, put a comment that you think will win you this gun effectively. It's going to be manually chosen, so not automatically. So it's not random. Got a few other things I need to talk about rules wise. You will receive one of these, not this gun. You will receive a Porphis PRD815 in 1.2, and it will have Pete's Hobbies etched on it. As far as I know, it's going to be down there, but it may be down there. But it will have Pete's Hobbies etched on it, but properly done, etched at the factory. They actually give you, I think it's about $15. And you can have whatever you want, up to 15 characters etched on your gun. So that's quite a good thing to look out for. And if you're not fortunate enough to win one of these, we do have a discount code that you can use, which is Pete Hobby. I'll put a link in the description, which should automatically apply the discount code. There's also a company in the UK, which I said I would give them a shout out. I'm nothing to do with them, but I said I would give them a shout out, called RX Spray. We have a discount code for them, which is just RX Spray 5, as you might well expect. I've got a link I'll put a link in the description to their website. There's no direct link or anything like that. So if you're in the UK, which is where RX Spray is based, and I'm in the UK as well, which is why I said I'd give them a mention. You know, you get the stuff next day and etc. So it's just, some people prefer to buy from the UK, so that's an option open to you. So I've gone through the comments, we've gone through the duration of the competition. As I said before, me and Porphis will actually manually choose the winner. Now, the other thing that needs to be done is you need to subscribe to my YouTube channel, which should be quite straightforward because you're already on it. But I will put a link in the description to my YouTube channel. And we would also want you to subscribe to the official Porphis YouTube channel. Seems fair to me because they're actually paying for the gun. So we need subscription to my channel and to the Porphis official channel. And again, I'll put a link in the description to the Porphis official YouTube channel. I think that's about it. So now we will go on to the video and you'll see just how good this thing is. And I mean, everything's genuine because you know, there's nothing's been invented here, but you will actually see my reaction to the way this gun, and more importantly, you will see how good this gun is. Anyway, you have been told, so watch the rest of the video and good luck in the competition. And I'll do as I say, I'll do a video, it'll be about 5 weeks time or so, announcing the winner, and we'll see who's been lucky enough to get one of these. As I was saying at the start of the video, I've used this gun in 1.2 for both base coat and for clear coat. And I find the combination I've found best is the 1.3 for base coat and the 1.2 for clear coat, which sounds really odd because normally I would be saying it's the other way around, but I seem to favour it that way because I found that the 1.3, because the control of the fan on these, and I don't mean the fan, you know, I don't mean the fan control on the side of the gun. I mean the how controlled the fan is on these. It's as I said before in the review of the 1.3 version, and it doesn't change for the 1.2. The between wet and dry is a really small area, so it's a really nice tight fine fan pattern. And what you really notice when spraying something like base coat is how evenly distributed that pattern is. So it really gives you good coverage. So for more complex colours and candies and things like that, where you would, you know, you noticed too heavily applied in one area, you will notice it. It's absolutely ideal because if you keep your overlap the same, you can achieve really good results. So the 1.3 I find is an excellent base gun because it allows it to wet up nicely as well, which it depends what system you're using really, but some base coats need that, and there's certainly some conditions need that when it tends to be you know, warmer or more humid or both. Normally you tend to need a wetter application anyway, because otherwise it just starts to dry too quickly. So I found the 1.3 really good for base coat, and it's also an excellent clear coat gun, although I still think I rate the 717, the PRD715 as a better all-round clear coat gun, because you can use it at lower pressure. I just seem to really get along with that thing nicely. But the PRD815 in 1.2 really does lay, as you will see, the clear coat on. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video that I made a few noises, and that's simply because when you get hold of a gun the first time, and this is the first time I use this gun, so I hadn't used it before. I mean, I've used the 815 obviously, so I'm familiar with the gun. It's just a different setup really that you need to familiarise yourself with, and I'd never used it before, and I was expecting it to be just like the 1.3 version, but just putting out slightly less material. And normally with a finer tip, a smaller tip, you get slightly better atomization. Certainly with the PRD715 1.3 against the 1.2, you do notice that, although it's only slight. Well, the difference between the 1.3 PRD815 1.3 and the 1.2 seem to be more marked. It definitely seems to be super fine atomization with the 1.2, to the point where I think this is probably the best clear coat gun I've used. Really atomizes finely. And when you hear me making a noise, it's because it's literally the first time I've used it. I'm using it with MIPA CX4, which is quite a good quality clear coat. It's not the best, but it is quite good quality. And I would say that, well, I've said that before in loads of videos, that if you're using split tip guns or the 1.2s, the finer atomization 1.2 guns, which this is obviously one, it does benefit you using a better quality clear, because the atomization is finer, so the particles hitting the panel are smaller. The ability of a better quality clear to flow out is amplified by the fact that the droplets are only small, so there's not going to be a lot of flow, so it needs to be easy to flow. Whereas if you're piling it on with a cheaper clear coat, obviously the reason it's flowing out is just because of the sheer amount of material that's on there. So this is very much like a lot of split tip guns allow you to do. They allow you to apply a thinner film of clear coat, but get equally a flat surface. Now, this isn't a flow coat. This is a clear over base. So the base coat was done, and in other words, it hasn't been sanded to make it super smooth. So what you see is not necessarily the best you would get, because if you did a flow coat, it would be slightly flatter. But I think you will find when you see the end results of this, it's actually difficult to get it flatter. Now, whatever you're painting, it doesn't matter whether you're painting, the procedure is exactly the same. You need to get as much clear on as you can so that it flows without actually inducing runs. So you get a nice flat surface. Less peel the better, most people would say. Does depend what you're doing, but if you're doing a lot of Japanese stuff like I do, the peel is very, very fine anyway. Not always, but it often is very, very fine. And you will see this, it really is superb the way it sprays this clear coat. Now, the difference between the 1.3 and the 1.2, it is purely the fact that the atomization is finer, but also it just puts out slightly less material, which is what you would expect. It's, you know, if you're trying to force the same viscosity material for a smaller hole, you would expect less to go through it in the same time. It's simple physics, really. So it does slow the gun down. Now, the 815 in 1.3 isn't overly fast anyway. It's not a slow gun, but it isn't overly fast. It's certainly faster than like the PRD715. So what you get with the 1.2 version is even more control. So it would definitely suit the painter that's doing more custom stuff and one-off jobs where they want to take their time in their application. There's a lot of people that want to do that and get really, really good results, because the better the results are off the gun, the less you leave to do afterwards. It's as simple as that, really. And even if you have a really poor performing gun, you can flatten. It's harder on motorcycle stuff because there's so many curves and edges, but certainly on a lot of car stuff where a lot of the panels are relatively flat, and I'm saying relatively, you know, actually cutting and polishing it, you know, so sanding it down and polishing it up is not too difficult to do, whereas on bike stuff it can be, because you can, if you've got a thin film of clear coat, it's quite easy to go through it during the sanding process. So you want to leave yourself as least to do as possible. And certainly guns like this, the PRD715, the NS Iwata WS400, What else would I include in that? The Meiji Finer Core. They all give you really good finishes off the gun, and it just leaves you with so much less to do. All I had to do with this, there's a couple of nibs on it which you might see, because the footage you see at the end is it's untouched. It's purely how it came off the gun, so that's the idea of it, so that you can see how well the gun performs. And it just leaves me with a couple of nibs to polish out, which I've got a little Milwaukee polisher, and I just use, normally I use 1500, then 3000 grit, and I just go over it with G360, which is I can't remember the name now. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the manufacturer, but it's just a polishing compound, and it works well with 3000 grit, and that's all it leaves you to do. Just literally remove a few nibs and polish up. But as I say, you're seeing this completely untouched. Now what I am doing here is I'm putting a clear coat in the 1.3 version. It's just so that you can see the difference in the pattern. Normally in an unboxing we'll show you the difference in the pattern, but because we're doing a competition as well, it's not really time to fit it all in. So I've put the clear coat, exactly the same clear coat, in a 1.3 version, keeping the settings the same, and the settings on both I use for clear coat are 2 bar, so 29 psi, full fan and full fluid. Just let it have it. It's perfectly capable of giving you a really good controlled fan pattern. But you can see that the fan pattern size on both the PRD 815 in 1.2 and 1.3 is about the same. It's just that the 1.2 is not quite as wet, which is exactly how you would expect it and exactly how you would want it, because effectively it's just a little bit less than the 1.3. And I say that because sometimes you put a 1.3 instead of a 1.2 or vice versa, and it actually makes the pattern slightly smaller, and it alters the pattern, not just making it less wet. It actually alters the pattern, but it doesn't alter the pattern at all on this. It just means there's less material coming out, which gives you even more control than the 815. So as you can see, it's a good quality clear coat, so you'd expect good results, but it is clear over base, and it's absolutely immaculate. Yeah, I was really impressed. So I may well have dethroned the PRD715 from its top notch as a clear coat gun. I've used it a reasonable bit over the last week nearly week and a half now I've had the gun. So although this is the first time using it, I've got to know it a bit, and it is really good, as is the 1.3 version. Definitely the front end is definitely reminiscent of the DV1, but it's better than the DeVille Base DV1. Although the front baffle system looks similar, it's definitely better. But there you go, 1.3 on the right hand side, 1.2 on the left hand side. Now we look at well, it's actually a tank fairing they call it these days, outside. As I say, nothing's been done to it. It is purely how it came off the gun, but you'll see now that the finish is absolutely superb, and that's what I want really from things. I want a good finish. As I say, it just saves you so much time. So although in the Porphis range these things are more expensive, I do think they are good value for money, and hey, you could even get one without actually paying for it. So don't forget to enter the competition. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to the official Porphis YouTube channel. Again, both the links will be in the description, so you'll be able to find them there. And hopefully you will win one of these guns. And there's only one to win, so work on that comment and see if you can give us a comment that you think's going to catch our eye and make it stand out that you will get this gun. It'll be shipped directly from Porphis to you, and it will have Pete's Hobbies written on it, which I think is quite a nice idea really, because after all, that's where you would have run it from. Anyway guys, as always, keep watching the videos and I will keep making them. Good luck in the competition, and I'll see you in about 5 weeks and we'll announce the winner. Bye bye.